Yo guys, Maurice here, Rapid Gamer, and today we're back with another league race. We're at Ricard, France in the ABR League, and we're starting P7 on the mediums. And a lot of people started on the softs, where I started on the mediums because I knew that the softs wouldn't last long in the race. So as the 5 red lights go out now, trying to get a good start. I'm just minimise wheel spin by short shifting and putting it into rich and overtake. Here I was just trying to just get through all the the battling. As you can see now, 2 cars are spun round, so now I'm just trying to navigate myself around them, and we're now up into P5 already into this race. And yeah, you can see I'm just got a different camera view and just testing out different ones to see which one I feel more comfortable with and consistent. And we're now up into P5 with some guys ahead on softs, so it'll be tricky to keep with them, but I felt like my pace was pretty good around this track as well. I do like it as well, but it's really hard to save ERS and fuel around this track because there's so many straights and things like that. So you can see the guys ahead are starting to battle, so now I was just trying to stay as close as possible with them. You can see braking pretty late there, so really confident on the brakes. And you can see now that we are catching them, but as I said, we need to just save ERS and fuel for the long run, otherwise it's going to be, you're going to probably have no ERS or low fuel by the end of the race. So now coming down into this long flowing right hand, you can see how much more confident we are, you know, under the brakes and the setup of the car. So now I'm trying to put them under as much pressure as possible. You can see the lines that I'm taking is completely different to theirs. As here I like to take a nice wide entry, then cut back for the later part of the apex. Here we tried to move here, down the inside, made a little bit of contact, it didn't stick, but we put him offline a bit. But we're now in the slipstream, we don't have any damage, we're getting caught by the guy ahead, behind, sorry, and you can see he's starting to go defensive there. And now I was just feeling like the softs would start to, hit the crossover soon, as they don't last long around this track as we get our first warning of the race. You can see now the Mercedes actually made a little bit of contact ahead, so he's got damage now. So this has my opportunity to now pounce on him and try and get past him as quick as possible, even though we are on the medium tire compounds. So now I think I was running pretty low downforce, so we should be quite fast in a straight line. So now I'm in the slipstream and he decides to defend, but still we proceed to go down the inside. So now we're trying to go down the inside. If someone else tries to go down the inside of us, he outbrakes us, but we managed to maintain our position. But now we're right behind him now in the slipstream, and he's got, as I said, that slight bit of damage to his front wing. So going through fast flowing corners, we should have the advantage on him. So now as we pull to the inside, you see he actually lagged there a bit ahead, so now we're going to pull it out and then cut back in and get the switch back move, and that is us now into a P4. So that was a very nice move by me, just covering off the inside just to make sure he doesn't come back at us, as the Ferrari going a little bit deep there, as they are on soft tyres as well. But as I said, the soft tyres do not last long around this track. You see now he goes deep and we cut back into the apex, trying to go around the outside, but just setting myself up now for the exit on the pit straight, get some nice traction. And we're now pulling to the outside. DRS is now enabled on this track. You can see we're almost catching the other Ferrari head as well, so trying to go around the outside now as he actually hits us, and we almost lose the car, but managing to save it nicely there. But we've still managed to overtake him as well. So we're now up into P3 in this Grand Prix. So I'll just focus on just trying to stay in the DRS zone of the guy ahead on this lap, so I'm not under too much pressure from the guys behind. Of the Force India of vital swiftness. You can see now we're comfortably in the slipstream, in the DRS, and should be under no threat from the guy behind. And we could almost maybe pressure him and challenge him for a move going into this corner here. So we're gaining pretty fast in a straight line. You can see how much speed we're gaining from the DRS there as we go down the inside, and now that is also now up into P2. And so you can see now we're just feeling pretty confident in the pace of the car. So moving on now to the end of lap 4. You can see now the leader is actually decided to pit. You can see how early he has to pit as well, because he's on those soft tyres. And we've got a soft runner behind us as well. He's looking pretty fast. But you can see how early he's had to pit because of the soft tyres. Just the degradation is so high on those soft compound tyres. So now I was just focused on being consistent and smooth and trying to just um, maintain my tyre wear and make my tyres last as long as possible so I can have fresh tyres for the end of the race. But we see we're going green now in the fresh air in this race, and the key thing to this track is just to be smooth with the steering. So you can see moving on now, you can take in a wide line, then cutting back into the apex, then use all the track and the exit, just give you the best line. As the guy behind it as well has actually pitted, so we decided to now come into the pits on the end of lap 11, judging the braking zone there pretty nicely for the pit entry. We're going to pit for some hard tyres as they will get us to the end of the Grand Prix, but the Force Indy behind is on the medium tyres, so I'm not sure how long he'll make it on them. So now I was just wondering if he's been able to make an undercut on us, because you know our medium tyres were pretty worn. He's on fresh medium tyres. You can see now coming on into the back straight, he's going to be pretty close, but he jumps us and he gets the undercut on us on those fresh tyres now. So now I was just focused on trying to just push as much as possible and maybe just get in the DRS zone for this back straight, because he is on those medium tyres, so it's going to be really hard to keep up with him on the first, you know, half of his stint. But towards the end, he should start to hit a crossover, and we should be quicker than him by quite a lot, because the hard tyres hold up really nice around this track and they're very durable tyre. So now I was just focusing on making sure my lines are all on point. You can see now coming down to this corner, leaving it in rich. After the curb ends is where you want to brake, and you want to hook the inside curb, take a little wide entry, and then cut back and use all the curb on the outside as well, and back up into lean. And then now moving on into lap 14, we're starting to catch him, so our pace is really strong. And yeah, just the way how we just sunk into this track and prepared for it really well. We're feeling really confident. So now we're in this DRS zone nice and comfortably, so we're in the slipstream, rich and overtake. We pull to the outside, then dummy him and go back down into the inside, and now we make the move just about holding himself onto the track, and he's had to take avoiding action as there's a little bit of contact, but really that should be an illegal overtake. So now we pull to the outside and he actually squeezes us there, so he's moving on to braking, which is illegal. And now I'm not sure what happened there. I think he got an illegal overtake for that one, but that is now us up into P1. I did not let that get to my head. I just had my head down trying to just break away as much as possible from him. And yeah, so now I was feeling pretty confident as he actually retires from the race and leaves the session, so I don't know what happened to him there. But that is, yes, up into P1, as now in lap 20 we have a virtual safety car, so people still having mistakes in this race, but we are comfortably out in the lead. You can just see that by the consistency and the pace that we have, just the raw pace, and as I said, consistency and the tyre management and being able to manage the fuel really nicely gives us the edge on our opponents. And yeah, so at this moment in time the race is just going really well for me, and I was just feeling so in sync with the track. You see now taking a wide line, then cutting back on the exit, which is the best line, and using all the track in the exit, which is very key and important on this track. As again you want to take that wide entry and get yourself back over for the second part of it, and then use first gear for some extra rotation, and then back up into rich and high. You can see I'm using high, not overtake or hot lap, just to save the RS, you know, for the longer straights as well. But as you see now, lap 26 to 27, we actually decide to pit. As we're so far ahead, we have a free pit stop. We're pitting for the soft tyres, trying to go for fastest lap, but me not realizing that you cross the finish line in the pit lane, so I'm not going to be able to get fastest lap on this one lap. So that was a little mistake or a misjudgment from me, but we are still in P1 as we've got such a big gap. I was able to make that free pit stop onto the soft tyres, but yeah, little silly mistake from me, but you can see we're still 13 seconds ahead, and on fresh soft tyres, and that's just a little indicator of how much strong pace we had, that we were able to pull that gap and have a free pit stop in hand. So now I was just gonna show you a little, pretty much treat this as a quali lap. So I'm gonna take you through this lap now. So here, just gonna short shift now into 4th and get some nice traction, put it up into rich and hot lap, and then up into overtake once you hit 6th gear. Just checking for any penalties behind, and I think he does have penalties as well, so that's a bonus for us. So braking just after the curb, then you want to hook the inside, then hook the next curb, and use all the track on the exit, and getting some nice traction off the corner on these fresh tyres. And then again back up into rich and overtake. You can just see how quickly this track can drain your ERS. We're already down to 14%. You set a purple middle sector, and here you want to go in and then come back out and then cut back in for the next part of the apex. Here is a wide line, and you want to take a late apex and a late entry, and then you again use all the track on the exit. You see we're setting a purple sector there, so it would have been a good lap, probably would have been the fastest lap. First you want to come in and hug the second part of the apex and get back over for the later part. Did that. That wasn't a very good last sector, should not have hit that curb. But going across the line, we set another third purple sector, even though that wasn't perfect, so it would have been fastest lap. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell as well to be notified when I put out more content.